Can everyone please take a seat if there's one available? If they're not, can we start this off today? Louder? Excellent. How about that? Is that any better? Can everybody hear me? All right. Good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for coming today. My name is Ed Wuzika. I am the interim town manager, and I'm honored today to serve as the master of ceremonies. On behalf of the Coventry Town Council and the entire staff of the town of Coventry, I would like to welcome you to our open house building ceremony. I'd like to recognize some people that are here today. I'm going to keep this really short because we'll be here forever. I've got a couple of legislators, Mr. Gordon Rogers and Mr. Jim Jackson. We have 3 members of our town council. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Raptakis, I didn't see you there, sir. Greg LeBassiniere, council vice president. Ann Dixon, and Ann Dixon, 2. We've also have the members of the building committee. I'm really bad at names some days, but Bill Finnegan, thank you. Julie Letty, Tom Heatherman, I'm aware. We also have a couple of retired chiefs from Coventry. We've got some other retired officers that are here. And again, if I start going into everybody's name, I'm going to get killed here. I would like to make recognition of Ann Sepico, former superintendent of the Rhode Island State Police and a resident of town. If I've forgotten anybody, I apologize humbly. As a reminder, I'd like to ask everybody to just turn off, make sure the cell phones are turned off before we get started. All right, we're going to begin the ceremonies with the presentation of colors by the Coventry Honor Guard. Please stand. Please remain standing while I invite the Coventry Police Department Chaplain, Father Nicholas Fleming from St. Mary's Church to the podium to give our invocation.
Remember that we are in God's presence. Good and gracious God, we give you thanks for the many blessings that we have received, for all those who have worked so hard to make this possible, a building which will serve our community and serve all the people in it. We ask that you rain down your blessing upon all those who work here, all those that will be served through their work, and all here present. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please be seated. All right, I'm going to keep my remarks nice and short, because anybody who knows me knows once I start talking, I usually don't know how to shut up. So I'm going to try to keep this real short. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone involved in bringing this complex from a dream to a reality. But I don't think anyone here would want to listen to me recite names for the next hour or so I'm just going to simply say thank you to everybody that was involved. As most of the key people that were involved are here already, so they understand. I would like to give special thanks to the residents, though, to you people. If it wasn't for you voting for and approving this bond issue, this building would never, ever have been built. We had tried in the past to get a bond passed. It didn't happen. We had a police department that was sitting and operating for in an 80-year-old building that was never built for law enforcement. The DHS side of the house was, they held their programs in a building that probably most of them, or some of them at least, went to school here when it was an elementary school. So it's been a long time coming, and it's really good feeling to see this. I hope you're going to enjoy your tours that you go on if anybody's involved when they get a chance to see this building. It's a good way to see a police station. Most of the time when you go on that side, so it's going to work out well. You can go there and know you're walking right back out. I look around here though, but I'm this great new DHS PD complex, but I've got mixed emotions. I'm extremely happy that the town of Coventry will now be able to provide services to its residents in a facility that they deserve and will enjoy going to. DHS side, again, not police. Unfortunately, this day is also officially the last day of Colonel John McDonnell's tenure as police chief. John has served the town of Coventry for over 25 years, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Colonel for his many years of service to the town of Coventry. He's been a vital member of the town of Coventry, town of Coventry's management team and family. He has always gone above and beyond to serve the people of Coventry. I've enjoyed working with Colonel McDonnell and will greatly miss his knowledge and wisdom that he added to any discussion on the issues facing the town of Coventry. Thank you everyone for coming today. I hope you enjoy the ceremony and the tours. I'd now like to introduce Council Vice President Greg Labosnier.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It has been a long road from the time we got it approved, which the bond approval happened in 2016, and a few times before that. But the hard work that many people who believed in this project has been ongoing. I know in October of 2018, I recognize a lot of the faces who were out there watching them put the shovels into the dirt to get this started. So it's been a project that's been anxiously awaited. And like you, I'm going to wait for my tour, and I'm sure because of the hard work that the building committee and everybody has put into this, that it will meet and exceed our expectations. Other than that, greetings from the town council, and I'm going to keep it short because that was a challenge to me, saying that if he keeps talking, I know I can talk longer than him. So thank you for coming, and hope you enjoy the tour, and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Labosnier. Our next speaker will be Building Committee Chairman, Mr. Bill Finnegan.
I'll try to be short as well, but it's not my strong suit. When we started this project, we had renovating a building. It has its difficulties far greater than building a new building. And one of the first things that we ran into where we found a lot of uneven floors, and probably the most uneven floor in this building was the old pool table room. So we apologize. We got that straightened out. So for everyone that uses that room, I'm sure you had to change your game dramatically since you've come back. But where's Kathy? Is he here? He's not here. So I was hoping there was a gentleman before that groundbreaking ceremony. This project started off with some controversy, if any of you remember. And there was some skepticism whether there was some great big scam that we were going to take the building down or move people out and then do something different. And there was a gentleman in the room, and it happened to turn out exactly in this same room, and he said, "Can you guarantee me that I'll be here in 1 year standing in this exact spot?" And I said, "Well, I can't guarantee that spot, but I guarantee you'll be back." And I wish he was here, because he would have been in the same exact spot, as it turned out. But as the project went, we had a very tight, self-inflicted time frame that we started out with a 1-year target that we shot for, but the project, as we got into it, as I said, a renovation project is far more difficult than a new project, because you don't know what you're gonna uncover, and we uncovered, there isn't enough time in the afternoon for us to get into everything that we uncovered and had to deal with. But we were able to get through all of that with a little bit of time delay, which I think was extremely reasonable with all the hard work that everybody put in, and got it done still a very tight schedule. And with all the site conditions and everything that we had to deal with, the great news is we still came in on budget. So we didn't go over budget on this project. As the town manager said, as a taxpayer of Coventry myself, I'd like to thank all the citizens, because we were in desperate need for the police department to be in a new location, as well as the Department of Human Services. And when we came into this building and got started, after you see this tour, you'll see how far this has come and how great of a facility it is on both sides. So actually, I guess, do you say all 3 sides with the fire alarm in here also? Because we brought the fire alarm dispatch in as well, so that was another enhancement. But so it was a overdue and well-needed bond to get approved, and I'm glad all of us in the town of Coventry did approve it. I'd like to thank the town council for their support in getting this project done, and former councilman Glenn Shibley, who's right here. Glenn, stand up. You like to take a bow. Glenn was very involved till the end of his tenure on the town council. He was involved in many of the meetings and had a lot of input on the project, so we appreciate that from the beginning, Glenn. Mr. Wazika, want to thank you for your support, coordination, and eloquence throughout the project when we needed it to come in and sort of smooth things out. Is that better? Feels like it's on me now. But we appreciate all of your support to help us get through and coordinate everything in the town, as well as Nick Gorham. Nick over here, thank you for your help. There's a lot of work. There's a lot, you can't imagine the work that goes in behind the scenes to put something like this together, and the bond gets approved and then a ton of work begins. So it was a lot to go through, and we appreciate your help. Have to thank the Colonel, of course, and at DHS, Kathy Pendola, who's in the back now, I can't even see her anymore, and Bob Robillard, Director Robillard. Kathy was in at the beginning to work on the layout and the coordination before Mr. Robillard came back to the town, and she couldn't run away from this project fast enough. But you did a great job, Kathy, while you were involved. And Colonel and Bob Robillard, you guys did a fantastic job of making sure your departments were represented, and hopefully all of the vision that you guys had that you wanted to see came to fruition, and we're sitting in that room now. We want to thank all the members of the advisory committee from DPW and numerous police department personnel that were involved. They had a tremendous amount of input, and this doesn't come together easily. And the conversations that had to take place and decisions that had to get made were not easy, and took a lot of back and forth. But on the police department side, we certainly have to recognize Lee Bissett and Matt Blair and Mike Brogy. These 3 guys put a lot of extra effort in. Are they in the room? But even if they're not, we should give them a round of applause, because in addition to their normal jobs, this was a huge undertaking for them to take on in addition to their jobs, so they did a fantastic job. The professional companies that were involved, I know some of them are here, I'm not sure if they're all here, but the architect that put this all together was Edward Rouse Architects. Ted Rouse couldn't be here today, but Jim Partridge and Andrew McKean, I know we're here. Can you stand up? They are standing up. They're in the back, but Jim and Andrew did a fantastic job, and we had bi-weekly meetings or monthly meetings? Bi-weekly meetings every other week for the last year and a half. We've been meeting for a few hours and then numerous hours in between that. And certainly Jim and Andrew worked hand in hand with Jim, but they put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I'm sure if Ted were here, he'd say thousands of hours more than he expected to have on this project. But guys, we appreciate your hard work and your commitment to see this through. And then the contractor, Tower Construction, Al Poolhouse could not be here today. Is Tom Newman in the room? So stand up, Tom. We met Tom yesterday, but let's give Tom a round of applause to represent Tower. Tower Construction did a great job. They oversaw everything. They really stepped up in a number of areas, going above and beyond in the construction, and also in some, they made a few nice donations to the project as well. So the town owes both Rouse and Tower a debt of gratitude. You guys did a great job, and we appreciate it. As the town manager said, my name is Bill Finnegan. I was the chairman of the building committee, but Tom Heatherman, Tom, stand up, please. Tom and Julie Letty, might as well have you stand up and we'll get the applause. Julie Letty. They absolutely carried a tremendous amount of weight and work on this project. Tom brought his construction expertise and equipment expertise, which was a great addition when you're doing something like this, to have someone that has that firsthand knowledge and can go and walk the walk and talk the talk, and it was a tremendous asset to have that on the building committee. And Julie Letty was unbelievable throughout the whole process with her financial reporting and record keeping and coordination. She made it seem very, very simple, and it was easy to get information that was accurate, concise, and timely. So I want to thank both of you. You both did a great job, and I personally appreciate it. I think it's important for everyone in the room to understand how non-partisan or non-agenda driven this project was. Everybody that was involved, from the police force to human services to the town management to DPW, every single person involved, the only agenda was to get the building built on time, on budget, and satisfy all the departments involved. And there was no other agenda other than that. And I think, as a taxpayer, I think I hear about a lot of projects that go way over budget and get out of control, and there's all other agendas that are trying to be served. That didn't happen on this. So to all the departments in the town, as a taxpayer, I thank all of you for your assistance and coordination on this, and you deserve a round of applause. So, as Mr. Wazika said, it's ironic that it's Colonel McDonald's last day on the force. He was a big, compelling force to get this project done, and he did a lot of the marketing to get it done. He was very involved in every meeting that we had, and I know you've been in here for a few weeks, but to have it come down to the ribbon cutting, that wasn't planned. I don't think it was planned. It just sort of, by happenstance, it came upon us. But we appreciate everything you did. You certainly, you've said it to me, and I've read it in articles, that your goal was to leave the town and the force better than you did when you came in, and I certainly think you did that. I think your leadership and your commitment to the town is something that your successor should hopefully strive to that same level, and we're all hoping that's the case, and we hope your successor, whoever it is, comes in with the same leadership and commitment, and hopefully inner workings of the town and what the town needs and what the community needs, because they're big shoes to follow, and we're looking forward to meet whoever that is. So to you, Colonel McDonald, thank you very much, and we appreciate it. So with that, I have seen the building, so I'll probably go on a tour, but I'm sort of sick of seeing it, but enjoy, and it's a great facility.
Mr. Finnegan, you are correct, you can't out-talk me. Wow! I do want to personally thank the building committee. The 3 people on that committee worked tirelessly, hundreds if not thousands of hours they put in on their own time, working full-time jobs, owning businesses, working their tails off, all for the bubble, doing whatever it took to get this job done, and as you're gonna see when you go through this building. It's a beautiful building. They deserve all the credit for everything they did in putting it all together, and sometimes working with people that didn't always get along quite well together. So they did a great job, and I'd like to give them all. Oh, yeah. I gave out enough checks to pay for this. Our next speaker is going to be Mr. Bob Robillard, who is the DHS Director. Mr. Robillard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. I'd like to welcome you to, on behalf of the Coventry Department of Human Services, to our home. I'm here today because I believe the residents of the town of Coventry matter. The services of our municipal employees provide increased quality of life, safety, and build our community for our residents each day. It's an amazing opportunity to provide services in such a welcoming space. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the residents of Coventry who put their trust in us each day to meet the needs of the most frail and at-risk people in our community. And I'd also like to personally thank our building committee, which you've all been introduced to. But they have volunteered countless hours, and I definitely can't stress the word volunteered enough. They were tireless in getting us to our goals. Under the valued and unwavering leadership of the Building Committee Chairman, Mr. Bill Finnegan, and Vice Chair, Mr. Tom Heatherman, and Ms. Julie Letty, our Building and Coventry Housing Director, we finally gotten to this day. The Building Committee's knowledge of the details of the building process and their advocacy on behalf of our departments have moved us to this finish line. Collaboratively, we were able to find resolutions to difficulties as they arose, and they arose. And now they give us this building before you today. So thank you, Bill, Julie, and Tom. It's been an interesting experience for sure. I'd also like to thank my fellow department heads with the ongoing support from all of our public servants in the police and fire departments, the fine men and women from our Coventry Department of Public Works, and the support of our town manager, Mr. Ed Wazika. This building is open for services. The Coventry Department of Human Services provides services for our residents in need. It's amazing that we can finally accomplish our department goals in this building, our home, back here at 50 Wood Street where we belong. I cannot tell you enough how much feedback that's been positive that we receive from our seniors, our staff, and those who come and use our building, our Project Friends program, and their families. It's great to be back where we belong. So we provide services here at our Resource and Senior Center and offsite at our food bank and in the community every day. And we work collaboratively with the police on calls with frequency. We could coordinate services for folks that are in difficult and daunting situations that happen in their lives. So being co-located with the police department is a natural arrangement and helps both departments to better serve the residents of Coventry. So thank you, Colonel, your staff, your ongoing collaboration and continued focus on sharing resources to better our community. Our department thanks you for your 25 years of service, and we also thank you for your ongoing service to our country. So thank you very much. We wish you the best in the next stage of your career. And please know we'll continue to work with the police department to provide seamless services to those in need. We work collaboratively with a lot of external agencies as well. Comprehensive Community Action, Family Services of Rhode Island, and many others, our Coventry School District, and we collaborate with the Department of Recreation and Director Blumenthal as we help our children and families to succeed and get their basic needs met. So this cohesive collaboration with other agencies and all of our town departments leads to successful outcomes for Coventry residents. I would especially like to thank my advisory board, Chairman Ernest Rusak, if you could stand. Ernest has been part of our advisory board for over 20 years. I would also like to thank Kathy Pendola, our department supervisor who served as acting director during the initial planning stages of this building. Sue Pajak, Joe Marie Fabian, Pat Fleming, and Lynn Pendola, our internal building committee. These individuals have advocated strongly, Bill, strongly, for our seniors and others who use our service, so that we have the best possible space for our team to do our work on a daily basis and provide good quality human services. Without this team, I would have been lost. Personally, I believe it's the advocacy that's gotten us to this day. We are now able to provide good services to good people in good space. I believe our future in this building is bright. We now have the opportunity to improve what we do every day. We can continue to connect people of all generations and abilities to the programs and services they need. So thank you for letting me speak today and welcome you to our new home. And I know most of you folks want the tour of the police department, but we'll give you a tour here too. But we thank you for everyone who's made this possible for us to grow our newly renovated Resource and Senior Center and provide the best services we can to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robillard. And by the way, if anybody knows anyone who's interested in buying an old police station, please contact me. The cells may be included if you're interested. Our next speaker is probably it will be his very last official act. Colonel John McDonald. Colonel.
Thank you. I've timed this about 8 minutes, and I know I'm in the way of the tour, so I'm gonna try to fire through this. I have some presentations and a lot of people to thank. So good afternoon, welcome family, friends, town leadership, our legislators, fellow law enforcement leaders, fellow officers, our retired Coventry police officers that are here today. Members of the community, thank you for attending today's celebration. First and foremost, I wanna thank my wife, Melissa, and my son, Braden, for supporting my career and putting up with the stress of many long hours. I hope you know how grateful I am for your patience during my tenure as Chief of Police. I would like to present Melissa with flowers and a gift from my son as a symbol of my gratitude for their support. It's been a tough week for our family. My wife's mother passed this week, Betty Angel, and she's just the best mother-in-law, that anyone could ever ask for. And it's times like this that we know that after all the work is done, that family is the most important thing in life. Next, I'd like to thank our town leadership for supporting this building effort. Thanks to you, the members of the town council who allowed this project to move forward in 2016, and for supporting us throughout the project. I'm proud to say it's come to a successful conclusion, not quite on time, but under budget. In particular, I want to thank Town Council Presidents Glenn Shibley and Carrie McGee and Town Council Vice President Greg LeBassonere for their support. Thank you to the town staff in attendance as well, who helped see this project through, our town manager, Ed Wazika, our DHS director, Bob Robillard, DPW director, Kevin McGee, Coventry School Superintendent, Craig Levis, and all of our fellow employees that helped support us through this project. I'd like to bring up the building committee members now, too, to present an award here. If you could all come up, Tom and Julie and Bill. Yeah, on this side if you want. So we each have a plaque for them. I'm just going to read part of the letter that's in the plaque that we had made. On behalf of the town of Coventry and the employees of the Coventry Police Department and Department of Human Services, please accept this plaque as in solemn recognition of your outstanding volunteer efforts. This plaque not only serves as a thank you from the employees, but it also represents a sincere gratitude of the residents of Town of Coventry, our seniors, and the families we serve. Many of your hours of hard work, dedication, and resiliency overcame numerous obstacles in order to complete this project under budget. Your long volunteer hours and individual expertise delivered an outstanding multifunctional police and human services facility. On a personal note, our building committee handled many hurdles along the way getting us here. I can't express how grateful I am to all of you. Bill was the unequivocal leader of the building effort, and his talents kept us on track and under budget. Without his leadership and his personal willpower, we're not here today, so thank you, Bill. He also brought with him Tom Heatherman, who displayed a toughness that was evident in every meeting, despite the fact that he was working through cancer treatments the whole time, and he was never missed a meeting. Julie Letty was selected as our last member of the committee and rounded out this trio of talent. Julie quickly proved her worth with her persistent attention to detail and professionalism. Julie was the gatekeeper of the funds. She kept on top of countless change orders that came our way. So you three, you're truly a great team, and the town and our staff are so fortunate to have you safeguarding this project. Is Paul St. Armand here? Paul, can you come forward? I also just want to thank Paul, who's was a part of our lobby project. He's an architect and part of the Preservation Society, and a longtime Coventry resident. The lobby project would not have been possible without his volunteer time and passion. Fortunately, we now have a detailed map on the lobby's walls, which was done by his grandfather, mapmaker George E. Madison, and his uncle was also a deputy chief in the 1940s and 50s. So there's a real connection for us there. George's work and Paul's vision are the foundation and fabric of the project in the lobby. I'd also like to thank Everett Hudson and his family for sharing their images and his knowledge of the town of Coventry. And thanks to the Honorcraft team, Kathy and Becky, who are here, who brought that idea to life, and I'd like to provide the plaque to Paul. I want to thank a couple folks here in the second row. I like to call those the Friends of Coventry Police: Phil Casacalenda, Bill Marcotte, Bobby DePadua, Paul Parento, and Jim Kuipers. Please stand if you're here. You don't have to stand, Bobby. We're good. These gentlemen made significant contributions to getting out the word on the Question 8 bond. They worked selflessly to support our cause, ensuring the Coventry residents were informed about the need for the facility, and we wouldn't be here today without gifted community partners like you guys. Thank you personally, too. Is Mike Zaroli here? Mike, are you here?
Yeah.
Where's Mike? Mike, come on up, my friend. Mike. Mike's over at Project Friends. He helps us all the time. He's been coming to the old station for years. He does anything we ask him to do at the police station, and all he ever does is he just wants to come for a visit once in a while, have a cup of coffee, and when he visits me sometimes he says, you know, do you have a hat or something with Coventry on it or a patch? And lately he's been eyeing my jacket, so I said, you know what, this is yours, my friend. Official. I want to thank also our internal building committee on the police side as well. They worked really hard on redesigning this school into a multifunctional facility. First among those contributors is Dispatcher Lee Bissett, who bore the immense responsibility of building a dispatch center, putting up the tower, incorporating fire alarm midway through that project. He bore the heavy burden and still acted even beyond that as the clerk of the works for pretty much the entire PD side of the project. His tenacity and attention to detail gave us a better product in the end, and we'll be submitting Lee for a Distinguished Service Award for his work on this project in the future here. Thanks also to contributors Mike Brogy, Bev Gamble, Lieutenant Blair, Detective Jordan, Major Heiss, Captain Zalabowski, and Captain Witt. They all played vital roles at different points during the project. Thank you to the Edward Rouse team, Jim and Andrew and the construction team at Tower, Dennis at Blanchette, and Al Poulos. It was a difficult project at this rehab, we know, and we had to overcome a lot, and we appreciate your professionalism through the whole thing. Thank you to some law enforcement partners who are here, Chief St. Severa and my academy mate, Deputy Chief Eric Dolan. They threw open their doors for several tours for us, and I know I bothered Eric a lot, who is pretty much the clerk of the works over in Smithfield, so we appreciate all the information and the lessons learned. Retired Colonel Asumpico is here too. The State Police gave us a tour, Cumberland, Chief Desmaris, and Chief Mello from Jamestown. You know, they had projects in the works and just were really great partners to help us try to learn every lesson we could as we built our facility. A big thank you to the Coventry residents who listened to our message and supported our cause. They voted at 60% approval rate on question 8. This is your police department, your human services, and your senior center in the future. We look forward to more public access, enhanced communication, better services, and we recommit ourselves to working together with our community through this combined services complex. Finally, thank you and goodbye to the officers and civilian staff at the Coventry Police Department who put themselves on the line every day. Please know that it was an honor to lead you. I hope that you know that I worked hard every day to make sure you had the proper training and equipment to be safe and successful, and to finally give you the police department you all deserve for so many years. It gives me great pride to stand here on the eve of my retirement and say we finally made this vision a reality. Thank you for the honor and privilege of standing here today on my last day as your Chief of Police. Strength, honor, and integrity.
Did I mention that police station comes with its own radio tower? A little added to that in case you're interested. Colonel, we've got a few little thank yous that we want to present to you for your 25 years, 4 months, and I think 6 days or something. I missed on the days. Total time here. I know much time, and I thank your wife and your son for allowing you to be here the way you are. It's a tough job. It requires a lot of time. It's a lot of time away from the families. Holidays, weekends, you name it, you're going, and you could be going at the drop of the hat to come back into the station for something going on. So I thank you as well for allowing him to do it and give to the town the way he has. Colonel, if you wouldn't mind coming up. Mr. Labasnier, I'm going to let you present this to the
I'll
clerk.
hand it over because I got the proclamation there, so obviously it's a beautiful plaque let me get that. Coventry Police Department, Colonel John S. McDonald, with great honor and appreciation for your loyalty and dedication, protecting the citizens of the town of Coventry. Presented to you in recognition of 25 years of dedicated service by the officers and staff of Town of Coventry and the Coventry Police Department. We wish you all the best in your retirement and future endeavors. Strength, honor, integrity. August 29th, 1994 to February 28th, 2020. I also have a proclamation to read from the council. Normally, I'll only speak for myself, but I'm confident that I can speak for the other council members here, that this is a bittersweet proclamation for us because we've appreciated everything you've done for us, Colonel. Proclamation presented to Colonel John S. McDonald. Whereas Colonel McDonald joined the Town of Coventry Police Department as a recruit on August 24th, 1994, and was sworn in as patrol officer on December 11th, 1994. He was promoted to sergeant in February of 2003, to lieutenant in February of 2008, and to patrol captain in February of 2012. Whereas Colonel McDonald served as a patrol captain until February 2013, when he was promoted to detective captain. And whereas during his tenure with the Coventry Police Department, Colonel McDonald served with the utmost integrity and on August 14th, 2015, was promoted as the 14th Chief of Police and Emergency Operations Director. Now therefore, be resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Coventry expresses its sincere appreciation and deepest thanks to Colonel John S. McDonald for his 25 years of exemplary service to the Coventry Police Department, and we wish him a long, enjoyable, happy, and healthy retirement. In testimony whereof, on behalf of the Honorable Town Council, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town to be affixed this 28th day of February 2020. Gregory LeBoissoniere, also signed Joanne Amatrano as the town clerk. All the best to you and your family, Colonel.
Don't go anywhere yet, sir. Nice try. We have something from Senator Rogers and Senator Raptakis that they'd like to do. You most certainly may, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues in government. Colonel, I want to thank you for your service to this community. And it's sad to see you leave when the building was just completed. But I just want to tell everyone here that your vote, the citizens of this community, the vote that took place several years ago, you voted and preserved history. Many probably don't know that if we would have constructed a brand new police station and a brand new human services building, it probably would have cost us around $30 or $40 million. But what you've done here is you've preserved history. This is probably the third life of this building. It used to be the Washington Elementary School back in, I believe, it was constructed back in the late 50s or early 60s. And Phil and I probably attended elementary school. The second and third grade was at the police station with one wing of the fourth grade. And the fifth and sixth grade was over on the other side where the human services is. So that's a real strong accomplishment. Other communities would have demolished a piece of history of this community. And then it became human services. And then today, with your vote and your support, a brand new police station and a brand new human services, its third life. And thank you all for preserving a part of history and a part of Coventry. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Some of you who don't know me, I share Coventry Senate District with Raptakis. He's a little more well-known than me. I come from Forster, not Coventry, but it is an extreme pleasure for me to represent Coventry. It is no small feat to accomplish what you guys have accomplished in Coventry with this building. I've been in politics for years on a local level, and this project absolutely takes a lot of people rowing in the same, a lot of good people rowing in the same direction to do as they know what's best for their town, and this is actually one of them. But I am here today to recognize Colonel John McDonald for his service, and I'd like to read a resolution that is me and Lou has put through the Senate. It says, "Congratulations, Chief John S. McDonald, on his retirement from the Coventry Police Department after more than 25 years of distinguished service. Whereas Colonel John S. McDonald joined the Coventry Police Department in 1994, and thanks to his tireless work ethic, exemplary record of service, his steadily rose through the ranks of the department ranks, culminating in 2015 when he became the town of Coventry's 14th police chief. And whereas Police Chief Colonel McDonald developed a strategic plan that included the attainment of important goals, including the development of new police department headquarters that opened on January of 2020 and gaining accreditation in 2019 through the Rhode Island Police Accreditation Commission. Other accomplishments, I'm sorry, I'm not used to speaking publicly and I'm a little nervous.
Politician.
Oh. I'm a normal person. Other accomplishments under Colonel McDonald's watch include significant improvements in the Department of School Safety, cyber protection, and investigative capabilities. And whereas Colonel McDonald attained a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Connecticut and a master's degree in strategic studies from the United States War College. For more than 28 years, he served our nation with honor and valor as a member of the Rhode Island National Guard. He holds the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and is an Army helicopter pilot who saw combat in Iraq. He also serves as Operations Manager for the Rhode Island Army Aviation Battalion in Kuwait. In recognition of his service to our nation, Colonel McDonald was awarded the Bronze Star. And whereas Colonel McDonald is retiring from the Coventry Police Department, which will continue to serve our state and nation as the new Rhode Island National Guard State Army Aviation Officer, now therefore be it resolved that we gather hereby congratulate Police Chief John S. McDonald on his retirement from the Coventry Police Department and wish him well in his new duties and as the Rhode Island National Guard State Army Aviation Officer, given this 24th day, February 2020, signed by me and Louis.
I think you're good now, unless anybody else has something? Colonel, thank you for all of it. Gonna miss you. Yeah, okay, where am I? Yeah, could I have, Sergeant plaque, oh, yes. Yeah, we're gonna do the tours momentarily. We gotta retire the flags and we've got to, benediction. All right, we'll just do the benediction. Could Father Fleming please come to the podium for benediction?
Please stand. Before I do the final benediction over all of you, I ask that John and his family might join me in the front for a special benediction. We ask the Lord to keep you, guard you, keep you safe. We give you thanks, Almighty God, for their service, for their family, for the witness that they bring. We ask that you continue to bless them and all their endeavors in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for the great work that came to fruition here in this building and in this community. We ask that you continue to bless the town of Coventry, all of its residents, and all those who serve here. May they be guided by you, and may you continue to fill them with your grace so that in charity they might live the call to serve in your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay. All right. Please be seated. Okay, on behalf of the town of Coventry and the staff of the Department of Human Services and Coventry Police Department, I would like to sincerely thank everyone for coming today. I look out at this crowd and I'm really pumped about how many people have shown up today, so I thank you all. I thank you for voting for this and giving this to the town. With this, we'll be ending this portion of it. There are some refreshments at the back of the room, and more importantly, the tours that let you get out of the building when you're done will begin in the front of the building, so you can exit out one of the doors, straight out, over, around to the front, and there will be officers there setting you up and beginning the tour throughout the building. I really hope you go for it. You're going to enjoy it. It's a beautiful building. It's a real nice improvement over the old one. Thank you. Thank you for coming.